All right. Well, welcome, Winthrop. Good to have you aboard. Here it is. What month are we, Richard?
February 6th, 2009.
2009. Here we are, 1 month into. We've got another little over a month to go, and spring will be here. Bit of cold out there today.
I know, below zero.
Below zero. We've got some special guests today. We have on my, on my left, I have Ann Kelty. And Ann is Ann, you want to just tell them just quickly what your profession is?
Thank you, Richard. I'm a naturopathic doctor.
Yeah, and we're going to be talking to Ann about what she does and what she has to offer some of our returning servicemen and soldiers.
Oh, good.
And on my right, I have Anthony. I'll let you pronounce your last name because Rich has been.
That's my last name is Papandrea.
Papandrea.
Yes.
That means we've been mispronouncing it for a year and a half.
It's all right, everyone does.
No, it isn't.
Anthony has been one of the soldiers that we've been writing to, and we've read several of his letters. His aunt is his Aunt Barbara is one of my mother's caregivers. And Anthony has just spent the last, 15 months in Iraq?
Yeah.
And so we're going to talk to him, and we have some photographs that he gave us, and so then we're going to go from there. All right. But listen, we're going to start the show out like we do every month with the Pledge of Allegiance, right? Is that right, Christopher? Okay. So we're going to put our right hand over our heart. Okay. Everybody put your right hand over your heart. All right. And then we'll start out with the Pledge of Allegiance. All right. Are you two ready? Okay. So I'll say on the count of three, we're going to begin. All right. On the count of three. 1, 2, 3.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, let's have a little bit of applause for them. All right. Oh, God bless you. God bless you, Emily. All right. Now we're going to do a little break from our regular thing, in that we do God Bless America. But since spring is coming up soon, Emily thought we would do something to reflect that. All right. Is that true, Emily? What are you going to sing for us today? You are my sunshine.
You are my sunshine.
Okay. All right.
Oh my
So,
God.
all right. So, Chris, we're going to are you ready? Okay. On the count of three. All right. 1, nice and loud. 2, 3.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. So please don't take it away.
Oh, that
The
was.
other night, dear,
Are we all done?
yes.
Okay.
Good job.
All right. You did very good.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Emily.
All right. That was very good, Emily. All right. Well, what we're going to do now is I'm going to let you go over to Nani. Okay. And Christopher, you're going to stay here. Okay. So why don't you walk over there? All right. Thank you very much, Emily. Okay, Christopher. Now, I have a letter here from a Sergeant Reed, Sergeant Jesse Reed. And Jesse, wrote to your first grade class? Is that right?
Yes.
He wrote a letter?
Yes.
And because you kids, all the students in your room wrote to him and several other soldiers back in December, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to read Jesse's letter here. This is a letter from Sergeant Jesse Reed, U.S. Marine Corps. I I had been asking the students from the various schools in Winthrop for letters to include in the care packages that I send to our men and women in Iraq and Afghanistan. This is my little introduction. In December, I received a packet of letters written by Mrs. Weisson's first grade class at the William Gorman School. These first graders asked where the soldiers sleep, what they eat, what the weather was like in that part of the world. Sergeant Reed wrote back, and this is his letter to Mrs. Weisson's first grade class. He said, well, dear Mrs. Weisson and class, I don't know where to start, so I guess I'll begin with, hello, ma'am and class. As you know, my name is Sergeant Jesse Reed. I am a crew chief in the United States Marine Corps. I fly on helicopters, and I am a door tail gunner. I am also a mechanic on a helicopter. It's a CH-53 Super Stallion. It's huge and fast. It goes 180 miles an hour. It said, now he wanted to know where, he said, where do I sleep? Right now I sleep in a tent in northern Iraq, about 50 miles west of Mosul. I lived on a boat on the way over here. The ship's name was the Iwo Jima. I slept in a very small bunk on the ship. What do I do all day? Well, when I'm not flying, there's always something that has to be fixed. He says he plays dominoes. And then you were asking him what he eats. Well, we have a lunchroom type thing twice a day, or we eat MREs. That stands for meals ready to eat. They are anything but that. They range from okay to I'll just go hungry. Would you agree with that, Anthony?
Yeah.
Okay. So he told a few more things about what he did. And then he said, he said, you were asking him when he comes home. I don't know when that day comes, it'll be someday in March. I'll be coming to Lynn to visit my girlfriend, but I'd like to stop by your classroom and say hello, if that's okay. Is that okay, Chris?
They said, all of us said yes.
All right, okay. And, but what we're gonna do, so you wrote a letter back to Jesse, right? And so why don't we just have you read your letter? Here, all right, I'll hold the microphone up, all right?
Dear Sergeant Reed, we hope you stay safe. We have worked so hard on this note.
Speak nice and loud and clear.
We hope you like this letter. Oh, and do you have a army dog? Do not forget my name. My birthday is coming soon. My birthday is on February 18th.
Don't speak too fast.
Well, Jesse,
Oh, okay.
I guess it is time to say goodbye for today. Christopher Rodriguez.
But you have a second page, why don't you read that?
We can help
Yes.
you.
We can help you.
We are going to send a care package. The whole class
Is
going to put food and stuff. We hope you stay safe again. Oh, I forgot to tell you. My puppy knows you. Thank you for serving our country. Christopher Rodriguez.
Oh, that was very good, Christopher. And so this is going to go off to Jesse, and along with some other letters that I have from some other classmates in your room. And each one of you wrote a letter, is that right? All right, so that's from Mrs. Weisson's class. All right, so you can put that down. And I'll tell you what, why don't you wave to everybody on the TV and say, we'll see you next month.
See you.
What's the matter?
Look at the hat.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Okay. All right, well, we've been done with the formalities, and I guess we're just going to start a little bit. I'm just going to give a little update on troop movements. We really haven't had anybody, any different changes. Oh, wait a minute, here comes Emily again. Yes, Emily.
What about the trees?
Oh, the treats, the treats. All right, here's some fruit snacks and some flag stickers for you.
You have to get the treats.
But so I guess the only troop that we've had move is Lisa Larrity, who is now in a country called Qatar, which is attached to Saudi Arabia and sticks out in the Persian
Qatar.
Gulf.
Qatar.
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 Another mispronunciation.
You sure her name's Larrity? Did you get
Yeah.
that one?
It's a nice
hopefully.
place. It's a very
And,
nice place.
Lisa is a flight nurse. She flies between, how do you pronounce it?
Qatar.
Qatar.
Those names are difficult, though.
Yeah,
That's-
they are.
yeah,
There's
they
no
all- they
U.
all are,
They don't
yeah.
use. Yeah.
Very difficult.
And she's a flight nurse. She flies between there and Kuwait, Iraq, Afghanistan, and Germany.
Yeah.
And so we do have some letters we'll read from her later on. We currently have almost 20 troops that we send care packages to every month. Out of the 20, probably half are from Winthrop. The rest are from Anthony's from Revere. We have 3 from Texas. Jesse Green was from Nebraska, and we have Buffalo, New York.
How did you get the guy from Nebraska? How did you get his name?
That Jesse Reed, who we just read his letter. He's actually a friend of Lisa Larrity's. Lisa met him when she was stationed in, deployed to Afghanistan last year, and she told me that he could use a little lift, and so we started sending them packages. And
that's good.
so that's the roundabout way we get people. That some people are residents from Winthrop. I got Anthony because his aunt told me that it would be nice if we sent him stuff, and we sent you plenty of stuff, right?
Yep. All the
You're saying
time.
he's getting discharged 2 days from now.
I know.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
Isn't that good?
Yeah, but he's going to stay in the National
Guard.
Guard and continue protecting us.
That'll be easy,
Yeah.
I hope.
So let's see. Why don't we just start out with we'll do a little interview. We'll read a few letters. We'll show some pictures, and then we'll go from there. So I think we're going to start with Anne. So Anne came and saw me and told me that she would like to offer her services to returning servicemen that are coming back from the war. And so, Anne, maybe you can tell us, how would you go about, what type of services, or what do you do?
Well, as a naturopathic doctor, I was trained in Oregon. It's a 4-year medical degree, same basic sciences, but the therapeutics are 180-degree difference from what people are accustomed to. When you come in and see me, we'll sit down and we'll talk and get a history of what's happening, and then we get to assess where the symptoms or where the ailments are coming from.
Now, are you talking physical? I mean, like I'm physically hurt or mentally hurt?
Well, there's several levels of hurt, especially with this war. It's very different than other wars that we've been in.
How?
Well, from my understanding is that in most cases in other wars, you would go to the front lines, you would do some time there, you would come back, you would get time to rest, recuperate, regenerate, and then go back out. And my understanding is you're not getting that turnaround time, you're not getting that time to regenerate. So your body's always on edge. You're always on the go. You're fight and flight.
15 months is a long time, too. If you think
15
of that, that's a long.
It's
right.
a long
It
time,
is.
but you know, you're not in your own time zone.
Right.
So you're halfway across the world in another time zone. So your body's, got jet lag from that. And now you're walking the streets, and who you were protecting in Vietnam, the children and the women, are now, you're not protecting them. It's not that you're not protecting them, but those could be some of the combatants that are coming at you. So you're looking at things in a very different manner.
Right.
And so the injuries, yes, you'll see that, you have physical injuries, maybe blast injuries or limbs or other scars that are physical. But there's also the mental emotional injuries that are the unseen injuries, which are plaguing our servicemen and women today.
Great. Were you injured?
No, I was not injured. I got a concussion when I was in Baghdad. That was about it. And I just hurt my ankle playing basketball, pickup game in basketball.
What was the concussion by?
An EFP, explosively formed penetrator, and I hit my truck, and it didn't penetrate, but it
You guys
knocked us
are
around
lucky.
pretty good.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was,
Thank God.
yeah.
Now, do you think you're geared more towards the physical or more towards the mental?
Probably more towards the mental and emotional aspects, and if you want to go so far as to the spiritual also.
Yeah. Now, so you're offering your service, and do you have an office?
I do. We just opened up at the Boston Sports Chiropractic and Rehabilitation Center in Winthrop Center.
Oh.
Where is that? What is it?
That's down Winthrop Center with Dr. Cummings and Dr. Cochran.
Oh, yes. Oh, all right.
Yeah,
In the
the
old
old-
First National Bank.
Yeah, the old bank.
Exactly.
Across from the public shoe.
Exactly, across
Oh,
from
all
Public
right, all
Shoes.
right. So we're going to talk more, but so if someone wanted to contact you, would they call you?
Yeah, it's a funny story. I have my home phone that has my nephew on it, and somebody called today and hung up. I thought it was going to be a more professional answering machine, but that's my home phone, folks. My phone number that I can be reached at is actually 617-780-8548. That's the best number to reach me at. If you do call me at home, which is listed, please don't be surprised if you get my nephew on the phone.
And if someone was looking you up in the phone book, what would they look you up under? Your name?
Probably. I don't think I'm listed in the phone book yet.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Now, how about insurance? Does the VA pay for that? Or do you get paid through the VA or you?
The only
the-
insurances a naturopathic doctor can actually take right now are workers' comp cases and automobile personal injury protection.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. I have been working with the MVETs
Right.
and the state commander, as well as several other people in the MVETs are very interested in the offerings that naturopathic doctors have at this time.
All right. Do you have any questions?
No, I'm good.
Could you use any services that, that she speaks?
Well, it helps to talk about stuff that's happened over there. It's easy to talk about it with your friends.
Yeah. I'd say that's the biggest thing
Yeah,
that
definitely have
you'd
them
try to
talk.
get somebody to do would be to talk and about what you saw or what you did or how people treated you or how people treat you in the United States,
Yeah.
you know, and how you're looked at. And now you when did you get back from Iraq?
I got
Anthony?
back October 4th, 2008.
And when did you go to Iraq?
July 5th, 2007.
And now, the interesting thing about you is that you were back in the States before July '07. Prior to that, where were you?
Afghanistan.
For
I was
how
in
long were you in
I was
Af-
in Afghanistan March 11th to March 13th. March 11th, 06 to March 13th,
Wow.
07.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you
my
you
God.
came home for 3 or 4 months
Yeah, and went right back out.
and then went to Iraq. So you've been out of the country for long. And didn't
Yeah.
you tell me you were in Bosnia too?
No, I wasn't in Bosnia. No.
Oh. Richard.
Don't blame me.
I was never in Bosnia, ever.
That was the other Papa
have
Andre.
I have a lot of friends who were in Bosnia.
Oh, okay. And now, what type of unit were you in?
I was in a airborne unit, combat engineer. Mine was we were both sapper units, so we were explosives. And when I was in Afghanistan, we were put on QRF, which is Quick Reaction Force. Anything that happens within our area of, our protection zone, what we cover, we had to go out and resolve the problems. We were on mission for 3 days, and then we had gate for 3 days. We'd sit on gate for 12 hours a day for 3 days, which isn't the funnest thing
With
in the world.
guard duty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no one guard duty.
And then, gate was vehicle searches, to get in the base and personnel searches and stuff like that. And then
That's dangerous, too.
yeah, and
Very
then
dangerous.
6 months after, we did that for 6 months, and then we switched over to route clearance, where we drove up and down the roads looking for IEDs to disarm them. When we find them, we place a bomb next to it and blow it up. Or we just roll over it and we blow us up, and we cleared it. So
Now, did you have many men injured in your unit?
when I was in Afghanistan, we had 17 injured and 2 died when I was in Afghanistan.
And what about Iraq?
When I was in Iraq, surprisingly, we didn't take that many casualties in our unit, but we were brigade, so we had a whole bunch of people there. I think our brigade, engineer brigade, altogether, it was like, we gave out, our brigade had 3,000 something Purple Hearts.
Wow.
And I
But a
think,
brigade is how many men?
oh,
10,000?
No, I think we had,
Is it more?
I think we had like, I think it was like 15,000 something people on
Yeah,
the
a brigade is enormous.
Yeah,
I don't want
a
people to
brigade-
think that
a brigade
when you
is
say
big, yeah.
3,000
Yeah, a
got
brigade is
Purple
really
Hearts.
big.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like
in the
the-
15 months, our brigade, all the people, the engineers, was our brigade. And
Yeah.
we were in charge of all the engineers, you know. So there was like 3,000 Purple Hearts, and like, I think there was like 25 engineers killed in Iraq in the 15 months I was there.
And yeah, when you talk about injuries, we've had, I have somewhere between 40 and 50 soldiers that I've written to since the war started, the Operation Iraqi Freedom. And we've had maybe 25 or 30 from Winthrop, and we've only had one that was really injured. That was Sean Bannon, who was involved. Oh, two.
Crosby, I always
Oh, yeah,
forget.
yeah, that's right. James Crosby.
Crosby. He was
young
early on.
Marine who was paralyzed from the waist down from an IED. Sean Bannon was on patrol when a remote control activated IED, or improvised explosive device, went off and tore through his legs. And but other than those two, and I'm not putting it lightly when I say other than those two, we haven't had any fatalities, and we haven't had any other major injuries that I'm aware of.
Right.
And and now, what is this pin here? I thought that was an infantry pin, but
It's a combat action badge.
but it has a bayonet with a wreath around it.
Yeah.
And what's the bayonet symbol?
It's you were in direct contact with the enemy in Iraq or Afghanistan.
Whereas a regular combat
Which
infantry.
the infantry is a big rifle.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is a
it's,
what?
It's a combat action badge. It's different for each, like, because each section of the army, if you guess you could say, like, the infantry will have like they have a rifle, and then engineers, which are also combat arms, since they don't have the infantry badge, they made badges for like people like the other combat MOSs who get involved in contact but can't have a combat infantry badge because they're not infantry.
Right.
And you're not infantry.
Yeah, I'm a combat engineer, explosives and mines and blowing down doors to houses and stuff like that.
Okay, because I mean, we were just engineers. I mean, I don't think we ever even used the term combat engineer.
Oh no, that's my MOS. Like we're all engineers, but my MOS is a combat engineer.
All right.
Which means like the other engineers, they're not combat engineers. Like they'll have like I think 21 Echo is light equipment operator. That's
Right,
an
and
engineer.
then heavy equipment
Yeah,
operator.
that's an
I mean,
engineer.
I was do you know what an 81B20 is?
No, that's. They
got
change
'em.
them all the time.
They had to retire that number. After Vietnam,
That's
they probably
a
retired it.
construction draftsman. But they knew I was too valuable for that, so they made me a water truck driver.
I was an 05C, radio teletype.
Oh, you should have thrown that at him and see if he knew what that
Oh,
was.
that's right. What's an 05?
A radio teletech?
05B and 05C. is what it was.
No, they redo them like every 5 years now. It's ridiculous. Like I was a
Oh,
21
Oh, do
Bravo.
they really?
It was 12 Bravo, then I turned into 21 Bravo, and now I'm back to a 12 Bravo. So.
Wow, they just reversed the numbers. Let me ask this, Dan. How did you get into the field you're in? I mean, what Because it's, no, I mean, what? That's a good question.
No, that was a great question.
Yeah, well, stop laughing at me then.
I'm laughing with her.
No, I mean, how did you happen to, it's not a field that you hear a lot of people going into. How
No.
did you get into it?
It's not a common field. Actually, you know, one of the biggest supporters for me was Mayo Khan.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
he was my neighbor, yeah.
Yeah. Mayo was great.
Wow.
I did a lot of work with Robert and Gloria with the yoga, and with Mayo, I would sit in his office while he was adjusting people, and we would talk and we would learn about things, and it was phenomenal. And additionally, I've also met Native American medicine men and women who have come to me to teach me about earth healing, you know, medicines of the earth, herbal medicines, and they taught me some of.
No, I believe in stuff like that. I like, actually, that earth type of stuff. That's interesting enough, too.
Well, it's about grounding and being with
Yeah,
the earth. I mean,
definitely.
we've done that for centuries, all over the world. We live on the earth, and this is where we get our sustenance from.
Right.
And that's where our medicine is from. Until the earth was, you know, raped of the vitamins and minerals that are in the soils, you used to get a lot of your nutrients from the foods. But now the food sources are being tainted,
Right,
so
right.
there's.
Yeah.
Right, we belong to the earth. The earth doesn't belong to us.
That's
Yes,
true.
All
remember
right,
that.
very well put,
I
Richard.
know that one.
Well, and the Native Americans look out 7 generations, so they want to
Right.
do
Oh,
today what they
definitely.
can do to protect their lineage.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I think that's something that we're starting to look at a little
Right.
bit.
Yeah. Well, let's see. What I think we might do, just to keep things moving along, is, Mike, could we put a couple of pictures up? Let's put a couple of pictures up and see what we have. We got a few pictures from you, Anthony. All right, Anthony, tell us
Is that
what
you?
this is.
That's a mortar tube.
What is a mortar tube?
I think that one's 120 millimeter. What you do is it's like looks like a,
A little bomb?
yeah, it's a bomb, but it looks like a bullet. It has like, the front of it looks like a bullet, and then they have a tail on the bottom of it. And what you do is, a guy will hold it up there, and then there's like a little spin dial over there, so
Yeah.
you can put your eye in it, and you can tell which,
Where it's going to
yeah,
go?
where it's gonna go.
Hopefully.
And you just drop it and duck, and it shoots off into the air. I think it goes 10,000 feet into the air, and then
So about 2 miles up?
yeah, and then it comes down
Wow.
and hits the target. If you're
What kind of
accurate like that.
distance is that going to fire?
Very far,
I
actually.
mean, like 5 miles or?
I think you can get, if you did max range, I think the max range of it's probably about 4.5 miles.
Oh, I didn't think they went that far. They always show
that's
those things on
Yeah.
movies and
That's the
stuff.
one where they're dropping them down.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can launch them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
you can launch them pretty far.
Yeah. Now, what is this? This is
That-
one of your pictures.
That's the ziggurat. It's in southern Iraq, right outside of Adder.
looks like a pyramid type
Yeah,
thing.
it's actually to the left of it a little bit. There's like this. It's all roped off area. You can't go in it, but we did go in it because we can do things like that because no one's going to stop us. But it's the birthplace of Abraham. You know, Abraham from the Bible.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and that's the ziggurat, which represents the moon god, I think it was. And we went there. It's a pretty cool place. You can't go inside it. It's just like a step pyramid. But we went up there, running around it. You know, it's
When was
really-
it built? I mean, how old is it?
That thing, beginning of civilization. Really far
What
back.
is inside it, though? Do you know?
It's dirt. It's just dirt.
it's not that much.
Yeah. Like when you go, we thought you could go inside it, but when we got there, we realized it's just covered in dirt.
It might be treasure buried somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's us standing on it.
Wow. That
Yeah.
is huge.
Yeah, that's me to the left. That's my buddy
No
Fielding in the center, and my buddy Ross on the right. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we were. Yeah. That's us actually inside.
You said you couldn't go inside.
Yeah,
What are you
we
doing?
weren't allowed in. There was roped off, but no one was there. But that was actually covered with concertina wire. You know what concertina wire
Yeah,
is?
right.
To get down into
Kinda
that
like barbed
little
wire,
hole.
right?
Yeah, the round
Yeah,
stuff.
to get down to underneath of a house like the basement. And we were able to get past the concertina wire because we're engineers. and we
Yeah.
That's a
get
great
to-
picture. That's a
That's what's good about being an engineer.
Yeah, so we got down in there. It was took about 20 feet of climbing down with wire, sharp wire to
Wow.
get down into there. And that's all like cement, and that's the squad that was out that day, on mission that day. We just stopped and thought it'd be cool to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
So we all just took a picture of all of us hanging out.
Oh, this is an interesting one. You were telling me.
Oh.
Kind of orient us what we're looking at
All
here.
right, we were in Basra. This is
Oh, Basra. That's why I thought you said Bosnia.
No, we were in
Basra.
Basra, and I think that's Win, my buddy. He's one good friend. He's from Vietnam. He got a citizenship in Iraq.
He's
Wow.
from Vietnam?
Yeah, he was born in
My
Vietnam.
God.
He's on our side.
He came
Richard.
over when
He's
he
on our
was.
side now.
Now he's on our side.
He came over when he was 14 years old. We were in Basra, and Basra gets mortared a lot. And unlike us, the British have a different rules of engagement than us. So if we were on tower guard and we saw someone setting up the mortar tube outside of our wire, obviously they're setting it up to shoot it at us. You know? So we're going to engage them.
Yeah. Right.
But the British cannot fire until they launch one round.
Yeah, that's.
So they have to wait.
What do you mean? They could set up a whole bunch, and as long as they didn't fire?
As soon as they fire one round, the British can fire. But we
Right.
have a different ROE. If it's an intent that they're going to try to kill us, we can fire. Like them setting it up, obviously they're putting it right there. So, but the British, I don't know what the hell is the matter.
Now that's
Maybe they
two
didn't
cinder
lose enough
block
people yet.
walls.
But it's actually 4 cinder block walls. It's like a little cave thing, you know. And then on top of them, see that thing on top
It
of
looks
them?
like a mattress.
Yeah, it looks like a
right.
mattress, but that's sandbags, 4 deep of sandbags. So if anything that was to hit, you're pretty protected unless it hit in that small area right there.
All right. So
You
that's
know?
where he sleeps. He's actually.
that's
right.
his
Yeah,
room.
yeah,
and mine was right next to his.
All right.
But yeah, it was pretty comforting sleeping in there, you know, especially when the siren went off. You wouldn't want to even get out.
You
and
didn't
go
even have to
bunker.
move. Yeah.
just
No, in
stay in
Vietnam,
there.
I was telling
Stay in there.
Anthony when the alarm went off and you could hear mortars dropping. They were never dropping close. So, you'd have to go out and get in a bunker that was like 4 feet high, and you didn't want to sit because it was mud and spiders and snakes, and it was pitch black. It'd be mud. So then, you'd do that a few times. You'd have to stay in there forever.
Yeah.
You'd have to
I
stay
know,
in there
yeah.
for hours.
Yeah.
And everybody, crouch and everybody's farting. It's just awful.
Yep.
And
That's
so
terrible.
after a while, if you had a cot, you'd roll under the
Right,
cot
right.
and pull a blanket down on the side. And somebody said, well, weren't you afraid about dying? It was worse to be in the bunker
Yep.
than it was to die of
When you
being
think
hit.
of it
I never
now,
got hit. I'm
Me and
still
my-
here.
Me and my friends, we had a saying like, if you're getting mortared, don't run, don't lay down on the ground, just walk the normal pace you were walking at, because you don't want to stop and get hit by a mortar. You don't want to run
Right,
into
right,
one.
yeah,
So
I
just
guess.
keep walking at the normal pace you were walking at. So
So your chances of
Yeah.
getting hit are just as much no matter what
Yeah.
you're doing, I
Yeah.
guess, with that.
Okay, let's see. Maybe we'll read a couple of letters. Let's see. Let me get I'm going to start with one, and then I'm going to hand one off to... Do you want to read one, Richard?
Sure. You're the one with the small printing.
This is one I got today. This is from Charlie Herbert. Charlie Herbert was a policeman in town, and his son, Jim Herbert, is now in Iraq. He's a command sergeant major, and now our show is shown. This show, Sporting the Troops, is shown all over the world.
Don't say that.
It is, but because now it is on. It's on Google, YouTube.
It is, yeah.
My nephew puts it on there, and so it goes all around the world. So I sent it. So Charlie obviously is down in Florida, the father, and so he wasn't able to get Channel 3 down there. So now I just send a link out, and it goes. And Channel 3 is broadcast all around the world now. So this is I just got this February 5th at 10:31 this morning. Why don't you read that, Richard?
All right, I got you. Okay.
Is the printing big
Yeah,
enough?
no, that's good. This is from Charles Herbert. It says, Richard, I wanted to thank you very much for sending me your TV download of your December show. You and your staff and the people of Winthrop are doing an incredible job for our men and women in the service. You have no idea how much I enjoyed your show. I received an email from my son, CSM.J. Herbert.
Command Sergeant
Command
Major.
Sergeant Major, aye. He couldn't believe the things you all sent him. He said that he would send you an email as soon as he could to thank you for everything that you are doing. Please keep up the good work, and God bless you all. And down here it says, I love Florida, don't you? Did you write that, or was that him?
No, he wrote that.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
wouldn't
nice.
they all like to be in Florida? I mean, this morning we got up, what was it, 6 degrees?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
It was like 50 degrees the other day.
I don't go out when it's that cold. I stay in the
Well, you had to
house.
go out
So I
today,
wonder
and
what it
it's
was
only
today. I should've
16
looked.
degrees
Yeah, it is.
outside.
Well, it's really cold in Florida. It's down to the 50s.
Yeah.
Did you see the
Right,
manatees?
it was, I know.
Yeah,
The
That's right.
manatees are all
yeah,
huddling.
even in Florida.
I have my son, I have him on my I have a weather station. I punch it and check all the temperatures everywhere. And it was cold
Yeah.
this whole week down there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Nelson, who works for his grandparents, said it was like 34. They're down in there, Fort Myers,
Oh, yeah.
on the
see?
West Coast. Here, I got a letter here I'm going to read. This is from Andrew Del Rossi. We call him Andrew Biggio. He's John and Mary Biggio's grandson. I got this last week. Andrew is, I think, a Lance Corporal in the Marines. I'm not exactly sure where he is, but in Iraq, maybe this letter, although I've read it, it says, Dear Mr. Honan, how are you doing? I hope you enjoyed the holidays with your family. The package I received from you was much appreciated. The iPod was totally unnecessary. However, it has become my most cherished item besides my rifle. It was good there was already music on it. I was surprised by that because I never sent anybody an iPod with music, but Linda Cohen's friend donated it. Actually gave it to me last year.
All right, so-
And when he gave it to me, he loaded it up with all his favorite music, Beatles music and stuff. And this kid didn't even have to put any music in it. And Ward, the one who donated it, was happy to hear that somebody liked his music. He says, now I cruise around in my Humvee listening to the Beatles. I feel like I'm in Nam. Your good deeds for the troops will never be forgotten. I hope you know that you have earned a new lifelong friend. These packages and mail are a lifeline. So this is it. So you ever wonder how much these kids appreciate it? You know, these packages and mail are a lifeline. The whole idea of care packages just flat out motivates me. It lets me know people care and back me up. Anyway, it's gotten pretty cold over here, 30s and 20s at night. Miserable. I got to watch Cobra and Huey attack helicopters do gun runs last night. It was pretty awesome. Watching a Hellfire missile pound a building is one of the most adrenaline-rushing things I've ever witnessed. Night post is pretty creepy. Night post would be guard duty, right? Yeah. Pretty creepy. A couple of months ago, someone low-crawled into the wire. Well, we won't go into this because stole his rifle and started shooting at the other posts. It was a bad time for a while. That would be bad, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's
They stole your rifle?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Who was
didn't
your
know the
rifle
kid's name. It's still up in the air whether he was sleeping or not. He was from Mass, though. Now we go on to the kids. Now it looks like I only have 2.5 months left. I can't wait until my return home. I have posts in 20 minutes. I'll let you go, Andrew. Andrew's probably about your age. How old are you?
21.
Yeah, you know, he's a young kid. Grew up in Everett. His family is from Winthrop. But that was a nice letter. Maybe we'll put a couple of more pictures up. How does that sound?
Yeah,
Sounds
good.
great.
Because I got some pictures here I want to show. What is this?
That
What
was
you do?
that
Wreck
was
the
no,
vehicle?
that was the hood of the Humvee. What happened was we got hit by a IED, and the hood's not up, but it was an EFP one array. It went through the engine block, completely took out the engine. There was a hole like this going through the whole engine.
Really?
Going through the other side. Yeah, you could see right through it. It was like a pretty significant, like, big hole.
But it looks like it went right through and kept on going.
Yeah.
It's like
it was,
somebody
that
used
was-
a
it was-
can opener or something.
They hit the front of the truck, and which we were surprised because we didn't have a flat tire, which was amazing.
I know, isn't that weird?
You know? But we just rolled past it, and then once we got out of the kill zone, we just hooked it up.
Is that the in hole or the out hole with the?
That's the end. That
The
was the
in-hole?
end. Yep. And like, that's in Baghdad. That's an Iraqi statue. I never really got it. It's a pretty horrible looking statue. if
Like
you
a
look at
devil?
It
it.
looks like it, yeah, that's just what I
Yeah,
was thinking.
it's like
A god?
I don't know, like what it looks pretty recent. Like they probably put it up in the 80s, like around there. But like it was right outside of one of the bases in Baghdad, one of our bases in Baghdad, and I saw it every day, and I was like, I have to take a picture of this thing because it just looks so awkward. You know, it's like not even proportioned like
Yeah.
whatsoever. So
I know, right, actually,
But there's
top of it is
was like a
bigger.
really busy place. There's a lot of cars and people walking around out there and stuff. And you know, I never got to go up and touch the statue, but I took a picture of it.
And what is this? Everybody seems to get a picture
Yeah,
of this.
that's in the green zone. That's where Saddam Hussein used to march his army through. That was his parade field for his military.
Oh.
Okay.
But the thing is, there's speed bumps like every about 30, 40 feet. There's a speed bump on there. But it's not an average speed bump. It's lined with the helmets of the Iranian soldiers they killed in the Iraq-Iran war.
Oh.
So it was like his pride and joy,
Trophy,
you
yeah.
know. And we actually ran up all through this thing, but we went into where Saddam Hussein's seats is. You see all those seats, and like, it's so hot in Iraq, and you look around and you look at all the seats, and they're all uncomfortable until you get to Saddam's seats. You know, and this guy got 8 vents hitting him in the face with air conditioning, you know, in this big comfortable chair, and everyone else is dying around him,
Yeah.
you know. But it's amazing the swords and stuff. It's an amazing
Yeah.
thing, and that's all of us just standing in front of it taking a picture.
Oh, that's your guys.
Yeah, that's us.
Everybody seems to get their picture taken in front
Yeah,
of that.
because it's the Greens. Everyone has to go down to the international zone once for something. or
Yeah,
another.
is that
It's-
right?
Yeah, it's like we're all like that's like the Green Zone is where Americans and Iraqis live together. You got the
Oh.
you get
International zone.
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You get the IZ. They get the
All the embassies.
embassies. You got where the president of the United Amali stays there. All that stuff. Pretty cool place. You know.
What are these?
Those are camels.
You sent me this,
Those are
yeah.
dead camels.
What are they doing? Sleeping?
They're dead.
Ah.
They're dead.
Why are they dead? I mean, 2 of them are walking
I
down
think
the
they
street.
died of heat.
Huh?
I think they died of heat because because you look how their stomachs are blown up.
Yeah.
There was no holes in them, so they didn't get shot.
You mean 2 of them died
I
together?
guess so. It was 150 degrees out. That's in the
Yeah, but
middle
that's
of
why
it, down
that's-
south. But
That's
it
what
was-
camels are made for.
I don't know why they were dead like that.
Too
Let's-
hot for the camels.
let's-
Oh my
let's-
God.
hit
I'll
them.
bet you the warranty ran out on
So
them.
we're sitting there, we stopped. Actually, we stopped next to them because this was so amazing to us. 2 dead camels. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, what are the odds? I mean, one
right.
dead camel,
I know.
but
Yeah.
come on, 2?
So
Together.
we stopped, right? And as we stopped, like it didn't smell at all, but like
Yeah.
Sergeant Major wanted to get a picture standing next to the camel so bad. So we're like, all right, Sergeant Major. So we stop, and he gets out, and he goes over there. And as he's standing there, we're taking a picture. I think the one on the left, stomach just bursts.
Oh, really?
Oh, my God.
Should have
with
got a
the-
picture of
With
that.
the worst smell in the world.
God.
It was so bad. The smell was horrible. It was like, oh.
All right.
But
That's weird.
Let's
Yeah.
see what else
He
we
thought
got
it was
here.
fun.
Yeah.
What does
Yeah,
that
is
say?
fun.
I took this one out because
these-
I knew you
This
would.
is on an Iraqi checkpoint. We used to do all the checkpoints in Iraq, and then we turned them over to the Iraqis. Now they do them, and they die a lot, the Iraqis, because they're always getting killed at these things. But it's basically usually says go military this way, you know, or civilians this way, civilians this way, U.S. this way. You know, see the
Car
arrows at the
bombs
bottom?
this way.
Yeah, car bombs. Yeah, car bombs will just blow it up. You know. But yeah, I think that's going down to the bridge that was blown up because the bridge got blown up and it was the main thing. It was the only bridge to get to Baghdad. So like from up north, where you had to go like freaking 4
Yeah,
hours.
but if you were like an Irish guy like me and I came across that, why don't they have it in English? What do I do?
There's English writing too. That was
Oh,
just
there is.
the
Oh,
Iraqi writing. They'll have it like like everything over there is written in English and and Iraqi, so you know what's going on over there, except for like the store signs and
Yeah.
stuff like that. You know, I guess they actually opened a hotel in Iraq when I left. I was like, who would want to stay in a hotel in Iraq? But
My nephew is going to Vietnam next week.
oh yeah,
Or in a couple of weeks. I can't believe that. He's going on vacation. I'm saying that's what we fought for,
I know,
Richard.
yeah.
You know, I was down the yacht club serving food a couple of months ago. We were preparing food for a cookout the yacht club was having. And I noticed all the shrimp was from Vietnam. And I turned to everybody and I said, this is why I fought in Vietnam, so that there would be an adequate supply
How did
of
you know
shrimp.
the shrimp was from Vietnam?
Because it said right on,
Oh,
product of Vietnam.
Oh.
And here's my nephew. He's going to start in Hanoi, and he's going all the way down to, I mean, we call that Saigon. It's Ho
Yeah.
Chi Minh City
Right.
now. And he's going to cities that I went, when I was up by the DMZ. I mean, I can't even fathom it.
Yeah.
Changed world.
The changed world. Do you think
never
Iraq will
going
ever
back
be
to
a
Iraq.
vacation hotspot?
40
No.
years from
Do you
now.
want to
Maybe
go
a
back
hotspot.
there?
no.
Hopefully we're not still there in 40 years.
The only thing I think, like Afghanistan, like Iraq, you could probably make like an economy out of it, but Afghanistan, we tried thinking of things that we could do in Afghanistan for fun. You can't do anything because, I mean, there's a lot of mountains, but it doesn't snow.
Oh,
like,
so no
enough,
skiing.
You know, so you can't ski, and then it's just desolate. Everything else, you know.
Yeah, I have a young girl from Lynn. Her brother works with Louis down at the video store, and she's in Bagram.
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 Yeah, it's the
I'm not too
Bagram.
good
Good.
with
No,
the
that wasn't
pronunciation.
bad.
That wasn't too
That
bad?
wasn't bad, no.
Thanks, Rich. And she keeps waiting for snow. And I guess the mountains, the upper
Yeah.
parts of the mountains have it. But,
Yeah.
but I guess when it snows down low, it just disappears right away.
Bagram's weird because Bagram is a circle of mountains, and in the middle of it is Bagram Airfield. You know?
Right, yeah.
So it's like, the planes have to come in a certain way to get in, but it's pretty nice. But when I was in Afghanistan, we had snow a lot because we were freaking, I think we were at 8,972 feet altitude.
Oh, like being
of
up in
the
Denver,
mountains.
Colorado.
Yeah. That was our base. We had snow a lot.
Yeah.
You know, so it was fun, but snow stinks.
You know, Richard, my cousin's coming home. He's been in Germany for the past year and a half.
Oh, no kidding.
yeah?
In the
Yeah.
military himself?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
Longstool? I think it's Longstool.
Might be. Yeah, he's been there. He's an attorney, so
Oh, yeah?
he's helping the guys when they're coming off the fields.
That's good.
Yeah,
Germany's
be
fun.
good to see him.
Let's put another picture up. Now, I saw this. This is...
Oh, that's our patch.
So, tell them... Richard and I know what a Ranger is, and I kind of know what this insignia is down below, but explain to our viewers. That's it's shoulder patch, right?
Yeah.
The top one is what?
The top one's the very top one.
Yeah.
The top one's Ranger. Means you have to go.
What is a Ranger?
A Ranger is you have to go to Ranger school. When you go to Ranger school, anyone can go to Ranger school, but it's really hard and most people don't make it.
Is it like being a Green Beret?
Yeah.
It's a tan beret. A tan beret.
Oh, but it's advanced infantry.
It's an advanced, like, you go to school and you learn extra stuff, you know? And it's like,
More physical.
yeah, it's like it's really physical, and they make you like do outrageous stuff, you know, that like
Test your...
test your durability
And
and your stamina,
psychological.
yeah, and everything. I think it's a 10-week school, and then right below that, that's sapper school, which engineers are the only ones who can go to.
And what's a sapper?
A sapper is, actually, know who is a sapper? And they have a big picture of him up on sapper school wall. Timothy McVeigh was a sapper. It's explosives experts.
Oh, he's the guy who blew up the Oklahoma
Yeah.
Tech.
Yeah, it
the
teaches
Oklahoma
you to make explosives with everything you have, basically. So, therefore, once you become a combat engineer like myself with explosives.
Are you a
now-
sapper?
No, I was going to go to sapper school, but I was in Iraq and Afghanistan the whole time. But I know most of the stuff because that was my squad leader. He teaches us everything he knows when we go over there. Sapper school is only 7 weeks long, but you have to learn you have to blow all these things up. You learn all these different types of explosives and how to make your own ones with like homemade chemicals.
It sounds interesting.
Stuff like
You
that.
should
Wow.
look into that,
I
man.
Young
can
kids
still
would
go
love
to
this.
it in National Guard. And then once you're a combat engineer, because of Timothy McVeigh and all the things that, like the DC sniper was a combat engineer.
Oh.
Oh,
So they have to, you go into the FBI database as soon as you become a combat engineer.
I wonder if they have me down because I was a water truck driver.
So as soon as I go through the airport, every time I go through the airport, every time I go through the airport, I get selected for extra screening.
Oh, yeah.
Which is horrible.
Nice.
And then the bottom one is my patch.
20th? Is that the 20th?
The 20th Engineer Brigade patch. The top one says airborne. Above it, it says airborne. Means it's an airborne unit. You don't necessarily have to jump out of planes to be in the unit, but when you get there, they
that was
make
me.
you
I
go.
did
Yeah.
not jump out of plane. I saw no reason to jump out of good planes. I mean, why jump out of a perfectly good
That's right.
airplane?
Yep.
And but so I was attached. One day I met someone and they said, "You're a leg?" And I said, "A leg?" I said, "What the heck is a leg?" And they said, "That's someone who's attached to an airborne unit but never jumped out of a plane." I mean, she was like, it was a woman. She was in the 82nd Airborne,
Yeah.
and she was airborne qualified, and she was just slicing me down. And I was saying, "Come on, I spent
what's it- that was-
time in Vietnam, you know."
Women in the military,
40 years ago.
they're so evil. They're mean to us. They're really mean.
Are they?
Yeah.
If they outrank you, especially. I
Yeah,
bet.
they're really mean to us.
Let's put up another picture here. Oh, this is Jesse Reed, and this is the best picture I have of him. He is actually on the Iwo Jima, which is a Marine Corps. The Marines travel by boat to Iraq.
I think it's a carrier.
Yeah, helicopter carrier. And he's the one that Christopher was reading his letter to, and that he wrote to Chris. And now I'll be honest, out of the 21 packets of letters I sent out at Christmas time, he was the only one that wrote back to the kids.
No.
So,
Yep.
so we're going to meet him the end of March.
Oh, the kids will be excited to have
Yeah.
him
I
at
know, I
school.
betcha.
He doesn't know he's going to be on this show. That's actually Jesse's helicopter. And they gave me a couple of shots of just before he left. He's on the ship now, but he's going to be back this way. I don't know how long. It must take him a couple of weeks to get back, and then they probably go for some debriefing and stuff. And we'll go to the next one. Did you?
Cool. I've seen that before.
We used to have Budweiser, camouflage
Did
Budweiser
you? I
trucks.
never saw that.
Geez, you would believe anything,
I
wouldn't
know,
you? Huh? And this is one of the new cost-saving things.
Where's the pet? They have pedals?
They have pedals. Yeah,
like a
you'll see. Yeah, go to the next one. Smile, wait for flash, Iraqi photos. Oh, and this one you can't see it, but this is a little miniature jet.
It's like
And
a snuck picture.
yeah, yeah. Well, we can't see that one, so let's go to the next one.
F-16.
And this is another one. At Halloween, they use a broom to get around. No, it's
that's
the
a
new
nice
Air
picture.
Force cost-saving things. It's a lot less fuel.
Yeah, that's funny.
And did you ever have to get around when you ran out of fuel on a donkey?
No. We used to mess with the donkeys. The donkeys are fun to play
I bet you
with.
they would be.
They are so much fun to play
Are they?
with. Yeah. You give
they
them some
kick you?
food, they'll do anything.
Do they
for
kick you though? Like
No,
they show you always
they
them
just
kicking
stand
people?
there. They don't really do anything.
Did you ever ride one so you didn't have to hoof
no,
around?
No, we were more into sheep. We tried to catch the sheep. We tried to catch them, but they're really quick people. Like, really
Did you have
quick
your
animals.
favorite donkey when you were there, or they would just come
No,
and go?
they just come in the wire and get stuck, and we just try to get them out, but they never want to leave the wire, and they just like getting cut in it, so we just left them in there.
All right, we'll go to and this was one of Jesse Reed's from helicopters. And yeah, we'll go to the next one. And I don't know do you know who that is?
No, I don't.
No, you
Actually,
wouldn't know
it looks
Anthony
like
and
Walter Cronkite a little bit.
No. This is one of the Winthrop's finest.
Right.
Jim Mackin.
Yeah.
Jim Mackin.
You showed me pictures of him. I forgot it. I forgot his name. I remember the other night seeing him.
I grew up with his kids, and Jim lived down in Somerset when I was growing up, and he was Marine Corps, Iwo Jima, Guam, Okinawa, Bougainvillea, and I'll show a couple more pictures. He's passed away now. This picture here was actually taken. I'm going to show you a picture of him 2 years before this, when he was in basic training. This is someone. Now that's him in basic training. In the picture, can you go back, Mike? Oh no, you went forward, and that's 2 years later.
Wow.
This
Thank
guy
you, God.
has seen hell. He'd been to hell and back.
Hell and back.
Yeah, you know, and was highly decorated. He was what you call the finest kind.
Yeah.
His daughter had the salon down the center. It was called Sheer Delight, and now she lives up in Ossipee. And there's Patty, Patricia, Jimmy still lives in Winthrop.
Oh.
And but the funny thing was, he was always kind of full-figured, and you see these pictures of him in basic training and stuff. He must have weighed like 140 pounds, you know. But he was kind of the mayor of the center. He's been gone now about 10 years, but he was quite a character. Yeah. And matter of fact, this is him standing second from the left. See how thin he is. This is probably in the South Pacific, you know. But I mean, but even in Vietnam, everybody was skinny. Everybody's
no,
skinny, and
You guys couldn't wear no shirts. You couldn't go outside without a shirt.
No.
Right?
that's the way
Never
we were
even
in
wore a
Vietnam.
shirt. I know it.
I woke up in the morning, put boots on, and a pair of pants. Never even wore
No
a
hat,
flak.
no helmet.
All right, so we got about 5 minutes left. All right. Oh, this is last night. We were up there. We had the American Legion was up my shop, and we had the meeting. And we packed 14 boxes of stuff going overseas.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking
And,
to some of them. They're all
yeah.
excited about coming up and helping out.
Yeah, that's Roger Hathaway, and that's Doobie. You know, down
Doobie.
where the army trucks are parked.
Oh, yeah.
He was so happy that he had a Slim Jim
He's
there.
eating a Slim Jim. Yeah.
Oh, let's see, and that's Lou Visco.
Yeah, Lou.
World War II. I don't know how that got tilted the wrong way unless he was reaching up. And who's that, Richard?
Oh my God, is that me?
Yeah, and that's Richard Tewksbury in the
Yeah.
back, and Sergeant Jay. And these were all taken last night when we were packing the boxes. There you are, guys.
All right, that's a
Yeah,
good
we had
picture.
a good
Yeah.
thing. We got 14 boxes. Last month we sent 240 pounds, and I don't know if I told this last month when we were on the show. Someone asked me how much stuff we sent last year, and we sent 2,387 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
By the
For
way,
Christmas?
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Over the holidays?
No, for the
No,
year,
actually,
for the
just
whole year.
over the whole year, but over a ton of stuff.
that's crazy.
These are the kids from Holy Rosary CCD. These are actually my neighbors, and they came up and wrote letters and sent stuff. And you can show now. Yeah, that's the kids from Holy Rosary CCD. I want to thank a couple of people before because we're. I want to especially thank the Temple Tifereth Israel down on Veterans Road. They're a big supporter of us, and they're always giving us aid, and so I want to mention to them. I want to mention Rochelle Flavin at the Winthrop Country Day School, who consistently from over the past couple of years has come through with stuff that has just overwhelmed me. And I got an interesting call the other day from Joe Duplin Jr., and he wanted to offer, and I'll put this out to you, once it gets warmer, he's offered to take guys like you out fishing.
Oh, that's
You
fun.
know, out striper fishing or blue fishing.
That'd be
So
fun.
we'll put you
yeah.
together. Tom Bailey, who lives up in Seal Harbor, and brought me in several cases of Chef Boyardee. And then an interesting one was James Ferguson, who lives on Seafoam Ave, brought me in like a case of DVD movies, music CDs, wrestling DVDs. Huh? I'd never been into those, but all kinds of books and magazines on wrestling and stuff. So we started sending some of those out last night. The Emblem Club, who's there every month, the Emblem Club. I have to thank the women of the Emblem Club. I mean, they brought me in hand warmers and money for postage. And just today, Kate Laser from the Union Congregational Church brought me in cards and letters and canned goods that are all going in those packages that we sent out last night. Teresa McNamara Maria, I'm mispronouncing her name. I bet you they're laughing at that right now. From St. John CCD. Her kids all wrote letters to the troops that are going out in the packages tomorrow. And I think that's all we're going to talk about, but, no. What are we, just about ready? We're going to, okay. Oh, this is Jim Mackin's family there. This is the whole family. Jim and Patty and, let's see, I think that's Jeannie. And that's Terry right there in the lower left with the red hair. Look at a black and white photograph, and her hair is still red in the picture.
Wow.
I mean, that says something. She was a real carrot top. She's the one who had Sheer Delight, and that's Jimmy, and then Patty on the right, and that's the mother. And I think that's it.